Powerful storms leave a path of damage. A home leveled as a family hunkers down.
The house did collapse around them. The structure is completely damaged except for the corner that they were in.
The storm's strong enough to knock over a semi and wrap parts of a roof around a tree.
Looked out our back patio doors and I just saw my neighbor's patio furniture flying.
Blinding rain making it impossible to see on I-95.
Hey, we're in the middle of a tornado. Love all you guys.
The cleanup underway and the impact already being felt across Seminole County.
The storm leaving a trail of debris behind. I'll take you along the path.
Live team coverage of a damaging day in Central Florida begins now.
WESH 2 News starts with breaking news.
Damage dots the ground in Longwood. A tornado with winds around 115 miles an hour carves a path of destruction. Incredible to see, and even more amazing to know no one was seriously hurt. But for some, this will be a painful memory as the cleanup will take some time. Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Alvarez.
I'm Jesse Pagan. The storms have cleared out and the repairs are already happening. WESH 2 has a team on the ground, in the air, and in the First Warning Weather Center to get you up to speed on the damage left behind.
Two main areas that are part of the focus right now: Blue Iris Place in Longwood and around Lake Emma Road in Lake Mary. We begin with WESH 2's Stuart Moore live in Longwood this afternoon.
Nancy, I'm on that Blue Iris Place right here in Longwood, where this area suffered some of the most damage that you'll see to houses. Right behind me, there were people inside of this home when it collapsed, tearing down this entire structure. About 7 to 8 houses on this street alone have suffered damage. Some houses didn't see anything. We actually saw from one neighbor who showed us some surveillance video as the storm started to roll in. Take a closer look at it and you can see the strong winds. He said that he got the alert from his emergency services center straight to his cell phone, telling him to take cover. As soon as he did, within 15 seconds, the conditions deteriorated and things started shaking. He could feel his house moving, and that's when this video shows the storm just running through his yard, tearing down trees throughout his entire neighborhood. We've also been able to see this from Chopper 2. Chopper 2 giving us a wider standpoint of exactly what has happened here on the ground, where it almost picked and chose which houses to hit. But again, as you mentioned, Nancy, no one was hurt miraculously through all this. Now, almost instantly when the emergency crews got down to this street, also were people who were first responders to help clean up things. Once the roadway reopened, once the fire department deemed this area was safe, WESH 2's Michelle Meredith is just about 3 blocks away from where I'm standing right now. Michelle, the cleanup is already well underway down there as they are trying to remove several trees.
Oh, well, this is the land of downed trees and some ripped up homes. And it reminds me a little bit of what it looked like after Hurricane Charlie in 2004, where gigantic oak trees were just snapped at the bottom like matchbook sticks. Now, we've seen homes, pieces of them ripped up and flapping around from trees. Let's move over here, Jake, because I want to see the big picture here. And this is like damage typical of tornadoes, because look over here. That house, we talked to the gal who was inside, and she's got shingles missing, a whole bunch of trees in her front yard. But then there are other homes, Jake, to your left here. Like this brick home right across the street, not even touched. And that's how it is in this Longwood subdivision, Whispering Winds, various stages of damage. Now, the National Weather Service was out here. They say that winds got up to 130 miles per hour, which is the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane. We talked to one homeowner, the homeowners who lives right there, and she said she was watching WESH 2 News, started to realize the tornado was headed her way, and that she hid in the closet in the nick of time. She swears she had about 2 seconds that she got in the closet and the door started moving. She said it was the scariest thing she ever saw in her life. Now, the National Weather Service says it's basically a miracle that no one was killed or injured during this tornado, and it was moving so fast. And they credit the fact that there was no real injuries or anyone died because Central plugged into the weather. Whether you're hearing in Seminole County, on the phone, on your computer, on TV, People are ready to move. Live in Seminole County, Michelle Meredith, Watch 2 News.
And from the ground to the sky, we're going to go right above my head now to meteorologist Eric Burris. Eric, you were tracking this system on Coffee Talk this morning when it was in Sumter County, and you saw the signs that it could become even more severe.
Yeah, it was a part of a supercell that essentially went from the Gulf all the way over to the Atlantic, and it started to pulse up getting into Sumter County. And frankly, from where we are, Stuart, I can see Lake Apopka. So as it crossed over Lake Apopka and then ran back ashore, there was an added torque. Kind of think of it as the storm stumbling from sea back to land. That oftentimes can spawn tornadoes, and unfortunately we know that's exactly what played out. But now, using the database that the National Weather Service has for damage indicators, this is the guidebook that the National Weather Service used to determine how strong the winds were below. Let me take you back down to that footage and notice this, one of the heaviest damaged homes that I have seen in years here in Central Florida. According to their damage index, because most of those walls collapsed except for some of those small interior rooms, that is the indicator that placed the winds in that 110 to 115 mile per hour range. That's why meteorologist Will Ulrich from the National Weather Service called this the EF2 tornado. But as we've been saying this entire broadcast, it is absolutely remarkable that the folks were home, that the folks made it through, and that's a testament to the idea of knowing where to go when a tornado strikes, that lowest level interior room away from doors and windows. Because while this home is essentially done and over with, it protected them in that one moment of need. And while all these other neighbors may have their homes still standing, there are so many windows blown out, so many roofs that are either severely damaged all the way down to just shingles. But it was loud, it was scary, and at any point, any of these big, beautiful trees could have come down. So we're continuing to survey the damage. We have noticed some tarps going up, some residents even getting cranes to help them with that. So already, just mere hours after the tornado roared through, folks that live in these communities off of Markham Woods are doing their best to start at least getting back to normalcy, though it's going to be a long road for so many. That's the very latest from Chopper 2, about 500 feet over you, Stu. Live, back to you.
Okay, Eric, thank you. And of course, the timing of this storm was truly impactful. It's a time where many students were already at school. Many people were on their way to work. I actually dropped my kids off to school about 2.5 miles away from here when that storm hit. One woman, Pamela Tompkins, was on I-4 near Sanford when she says she felt like the storm went right over her car.
Hey, we're in the middle of a tornado. Love all you guys. Not sure what size it is or anything. Hopefully it's just a little one. A lot of debris. Pretty scary. Hopefully everything will be okay. Gotta go watch over us.
And that storm was also strong enough to tip over a semi-truck up in Lake Mary. West 2's Christina Watkins is there for us live. Christina, you heard the story about the driver of that truck, his dog that was in there with him. Miraculous. They also made it out uninjured.
It really is a miracle, Stuart, that the driver and his dog are okay from that semi-truck that flipped on its side. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but I want to show you really to give you another idea of how strong those winds were. We're about a half mile away from where that truck flipped on its side. The winds were so strong it also knocked over this massive tree. To put this even more into perspective, my driver's license says I'm about 5'5". This is taller than me. If you come around here, you can see the tree, its roots, and everything underneath it completely came right off of the ground. This is on Skyline Drive outside of a building that houses several businesses. We drove around this area today. We saw trees that also fell on cars in this parking lot. Air conditioning units blew off the roof. And then about a half a mile away was that semi-truck, Stu, that you mentioned that flipped on its side. That was on Lake Emma Road and Commerce Street, just outside of the Social Security Administration building. It truly is a miracle that man inside the truck and his dog both made it out safely. One woman told us she was amazed to see the aftermath of this storm because of how quickly it moved through.
Seeing a tree roots uplifted. I was pretty shocked. I mean, that a force like that can actually uproot a tree. It just brings an awareness to safety for one, and make sure that when you do have a warning, make sure that you adhere to that warning and make sure that you're in a safe location.
City leaders here in Lake Mary also stress the importance of taking those weather alerts seriously. That's something many people in Seminole County did, which is why everyone that we know so far is okay. That is such an incredible thing to hear. Back out here live on Skyline Drive, you are taking a look again at that massive tree. Here's something really interesting. So even though the wind was strong enough to knock this tree over, guys, if you come a little closer, you can see the acorns and the leaves are still intact, as if it's still on the ground. But you see here, that's not the case at all. Coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, you will be amazed to find out where the truck driver and his dog took shelter when that storm rolled through. That's the latest here in Lake Mary. Christina Watkins. Stuart, back to you.
What a story he has to tell. Christina, thank you. These storms made it nearly impossible to be able to see, especially if you were driving. This is how it looked around 10:30 along I-95 in Volusia County. Blinding rain. You can see barely the brake lights in front of people. So you can also only imagine how tough it was for the people who were behind the wheel. We did actually see some people who pulled over to the side for their own safety. Guys, before we send it back into the studio to you, I just want to tell you one moment I just saw a few moments ago play out at the front of this neighborhood. The school bus pulled up, letting kids out. When they left the neighborhood this morning, the neighborhood was fine. Just some wind, maybe some rain. When they come back, it's the destruction they have to now be a part of helping to clean up. So guys, coming up at 4:30, we'll let you hear from that neighbor who gave us that surveillance video that showed the tornado when it struck this street. Back to you.
All right, we got to think about those kids making that walk to their homes. I mean, this is going to be traumatizing for people in that community. Such a shock to see damage like that. Bringing Cam in now, this is a rare tornado for us.
It absolutely, it is a very rare tornado. It was classified as an EF2 with winds of 120 miles per hour. Typically here in Central Florida, when we get tornadoes, they're much weaker than that. Classified as EF0, EF1. So this indeed was a very, very rare, stronger tornado. Again, 90% are weak with winds about 65 to 110 miles per hour. This one was an EF2 and it had winds of up to 120 miles per hour, which makes it that classification. Only 10% of tornadoes that we see here in Central Florida are that strong. So let me give you the latest on the survey that the National Weather Service did on this Seminole County tornado. It was started out in Wekiva Springs and headed to Longwood. Winds of 120 miles per hour, again, making it that EF2. It happened around 9:35 to 9:41 this morning. The track 4 miles, the width about 300 yards. And now this actually crossed I-4 and then moved into Lake Mary. However, National Weather Service crews, they are planning to do that survey tomorrow. So we'll find out a little bit more information about this. I can tell you, meteorologist Kellyanne Class and I were on air watching that tornado develop. This is what we call the debris signature on the radar, and it was clearly defined on that radar. We could see it, and really, when that tornado warning was happening, we saw radar indication that definitely there was some type of rotation on the ground. Thankfully, though, as we take a look at our first warning radar this afternoon, we are all clear. Things are drying on out, and we are looking at quiet skies ahead. I'll show you how long some of these blustery winds that will continue into Central Florida as the cleanup continues, and how long these dry skies are expected to stick around coming up in about 15 minutes.